Hello everyone and welcome back to the Friday video. Today's video, again, it is not the Die series, guys. I don't want to play, so I'm just not playing, alright? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my opinions on the game, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and we're also going to talk about why you should use code SQUID when buying gems at checkout to save 5% off, because there is a cool fire sale, starting tomorrow on Saturday. So it's a baby Spinosaurus skin. There's a bunch of different styles, so I mean you could basically match it with whatever armor set or color scheme you're going for, so make sure use code SQUID to save 5% off. It's the best way to support the channel. So I could think of a lot of reasons why I like SkyBlock and a lot of reasons I don't like SkyBlock. And I guess I'll start with what I don't like. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna talk about, because it's something that happened quite recently that I don't like about SkyBlock, is people aren't excited to play updates anymore. Obviously, some people are. Like, I mean, that's a pretty broad statement, generally untrue, but me personally, I'm not very excited to play updates anymore for a few reasons. The first reason I could think of is they don't personally excite me. I'm sure people get excited by literally every SkyBlock update, but I'm just not like that. So when I think of things that would make me want to play SkyBlock, I mean, obviously it's kind of different because I started playing SkyBlock all the way back on like the first days of release when there was actually nothing to do. Like, I know everyone likes to look back on old SkyBlock and be like, oh my god, like SkyBlock was so much better in 2019. No, it wasn't. Guys, SkyBlock in 2019, it was new. It was cool and it was new, but after a while, it just got boring. There was nothing to do. That's a big part of why the Potato War happened, is because there's nothing to do. Like, genuinely, I don't even know what I would have been doing if I wasn't in the Potato War. I don't know what everyone else was doing at that time. It didn't take an extremely long time to get the best armor in the game, the best sword in the game. Like, if you knew what you were doing a little bit and you had minions down that were producing income for you, you were probably able to buy the best stuff in the game, and then after that, you could just set whatever personal goals before you get bored. So obviously your personal goals varied from person to person. Some people didn't want to set goals and they just quit because they got bored of the game. Especially once the game lost that novelty feel that initially lured people in. But obviously there's things that are to be enjoyed from early SkyBlock. I mean, like minions, I think everyone thinks minions are pretty cool. People enjoyed doing dragons back then. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. There were things to be enjoyed back then, and there are things to be enjoyed now. But compared to the rest of the game, I feel like we haven't been getting that much new stuff that people, especially people who don't currently play SkyBlock, we haven't been getting new stuff that people would find fun or exciting. Or not even just fun or exciting, but things that are worth logging on to chase. Like, a few examples of this are things like a Hyperion, a Divon's Drill, a Golden Dragon. Like, these are all like really cool items, very meaningful, like progression leaps, and I mean they take a while to get. A part of what makes an item so good is the effort it takes to get, within reason obviously, but like those are some of the cooler things I could think of that SkyBlock has to offer. Like, when people log on for the first time, they've probably seen like a Rage Train video, or I mean, a lot of people have seen the Potato Wars, which I mean that's kind of an example of how you don't need like these cool items or whatever. But I mean either way, I still think it's good to add in something new like that once in a while. I guess the closest thing that I could think of that we've gotten recently is the Ray of Helios, or whatever the crafted item is that is called. But that item's kind of too rare for anyone to grind themselves, and I also don't think the item's as useful as like any of the other, like the big three items like Hyperion, Terminator, Divon's Drill, Golden Dragon. I guess those four things. It's not as useful as those guys, but I still think the Ray of Helios is a cool item. I guess some of the cooler stuff that's not as useful is like a Shattered Locket. That's like pretty hard to get. Claymore. I don't know. I guess leave it in the comments comments. Also, leave a comment, please, if you're watching this video, leave a comment of what got you into SkyBlock. Whether you wanted to get a Hyperion, or you saw the Potato War, or, I mean, literally anything. The answer could be you were bored or something, and then you got on SkyBlock. Like, whatever reason you started playing SkyBlock, include that in your comments. So going back to people not being excited to play updates, I think a big part of that, actually, I wouldn't even say a big part of that, but a good part of it is the fact that anyone who's been playing SkyBlock for a while now, especially if you're someone who's nearing the end of the game, you kind of know that on update day, 9 times out of 10, the rates are probably gonna be too low, and then they're gonna turn up the rates a ton, which I think is just ridiculous. People should be excited to log on when the update releases and grind out the update, but it's just not like that. The recent example is the Harvest Feast update and everything that came with it. So anyone that played for even like a few hours, even anyone that played for like an hour, they immediately knew it's like, okay, well, these rare crops are kind of a little bit too rare. I mean, some people definitely just sat there and like, they're like, okay, I'll just play the hand that I'm dealt. But me personally, I was like, this would be a waste of my time for me to grind, because they're going to make these drops probably 5 times more rare in like a week. Like, that's probably just gonna happen, so I'm just not going to engage with the content until it does happen, because it's inevitable. The rates are just too low, so I just didn't do it, and what do you know, 10 days after the update releases, they already made the drops probably 5 times more rare. I haven't tested the rates personally, but they made them drop from pests now. Basically, anyone who did the update in the first 10 days, you kind of got punished, because any work that you did, you could do it in way less time, because they're way more common. Like, if I spent 100 hours in the last week doing the update, I would have been able to achieve the same thing in the next 10, because it's just that much of a rate improvement because of how bad the rates were initially. So I think that's something that really needs to stop happening in SkyBlock, is they have to like balance updates before release. And honestly, like, I would rather it's in the opposite direction, where on release, the rates of something is too high. I would rather it be too high than too low, to be honest, because it's just a bad feeling. Like, I'm sure people are commenting like, oh, like only Iron Man are affected. Like, no, not only Iron Man are affected. Literally everyone who plays SkyBlock that did the update in those first 10 days are negatively affected, because they got less of the crops. Especially if you farmed the rare drops and didn't sell them, then the value of them just plummeted on the news of this update happening. The value of your items just plummeted, and you just got fully shafted, which is, it's just bad. It would be a bad feeling. So they need to make people excited to play updates. And expanding on that a little bit, kind of brings frustration with the alpha server. Obviously, the admins must be extracting some sort of value from the alpha server. Obviously, they must be, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it, right? I don't know what the value is, because, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're very receptive of feedback when something is on the alpha server, but they must be extracting some sort of value from it, which, I mean, we're just never gonna understand, to be honest. Personally, I don't like the alpha server. I think it kills the hype of updates, and probably my biggest gripe I have with the alpha server is things come off the alpha server like unbalanced and broken still. Like the Harvest Feast was on the alpha server. The garden was on the alpha server for months. It was on the alpha server for months, and they still enabled people to build like the really big vertical farms on their garden. And then they like made it smaller twice. Like, isn't that one of the main things the alpha server should be, is like how people play the update? Like using the update of the garden as an example, shouldn't they have known that people were gonna build vertical farms? Because I mean, that was just the meta at the time. You build a vertical farm on your private island to minimize the amount of inputs you need to farm. It just makes everything easier. So of course people are gonna try to build vertical farms on their garden if they're enabled to. And then despite that happening on the alpha server, people built it when it went to main, and then they said, we actually don't want you to do this anymore. It's like, great. Like, that's just bad. That shouldn't happen. Same with the Harvest Feast. I wouldn't personally know because I don't play the alpha server, but from what I've heard, people were saying that the rates were too low on the alpha server. They're saying this rare crops take too long to get, so they should probably be improved. But I mean, it just doesn't feel like the admins listen to feedback on the alpha server. To a degree, obviously. I'm sure some feedback gets accepted, but the whole thing of like the rare crops not dropping from pest is something that I feel like should have been noticed in like 30 minutes. Because anyone who played the update, it's like, huh, if the things I'm after only drop from crops and not from pests, then if I'm only after these things, farming pests lowers my rates for these things. And if the admin thought that was bad from a game design standpoint, then the obvious conclusion would be to make the rare crops drop from pests, which is what they finally did, but it was like 10 days after the update has been out already. So I just think that's like a really bad thing. I really don't like that happens. Basically every update. I would say the garden, or not the garden, the greenhouse is an update that was kind of inversed on that regard, where things on release from the greenhouse were a bit stronger. Like, for example, rosewater flasks were stronger, and ash wreath gave double. Like, I think some of the mutations have since been balanced to give less crops, but I would honestly rather that happens than things get increased after. No, okay, let me rephrase that. Obviously, I'm glad the rates of the rare crops has been increased. Obviously, that's a good thing, but if I had to choose whether the rates being too strong or too weak on release, I'd rather the rates are too strong. Expanding on one of the points I said, because I was sitting here thinking about it for a while, I'm saying that I miss them adding cool items like the Hyperion or the Term or the G-Drag or the Divon's Drill or whatever. I'm not saying they need to add one of those every update, but out of the 4 items I just named, I think the most recent one was probably added into the game like 4 years ago. Again, the closest thing I could think of to those scale that in my opinion are not as exciting, Dark Claymore, I don't think that's exciting because, I mean, the Dark Claymore isn't insanely useful. I think, people use it in like M7 or something. Otherwise, it's outclassed by the Tormentor, which I would probably say is easier to get. Pendant of Divan. It's an equipment piece, and generally equipment pieces are just not that strong for whatever reason. Especially for how much it costs to get a Pendant of Divan. I want to say at odds. I don't know. Someone comment the key price if you get a pendant at odds. Do the math, whatever stats it's giving you, how long it would make to pay itself off, it would take too long. Not to mention that mining is just a bad state. No one mines for money anymore. It's just not worth it. And a part of that is leading into my second point. The servers are terrible. I say the servers are terrible, but they're generally fine. But like, you're probably not playing for a few hours straight without like the server lagging. Like, especially depending on the island you're on. Like, the Nether is definitely worse. And obviously some islands are worse for your playing experience. Like, for example, if you're getting TPS drops in the garden, it's not that big of a deal. You're breaking everything instantly and it doesn't really matter. But if you're on a mining island, for example, you are feeling every single tick that drops, especially if you're like good at mining and you're like trying to ping glide and everything. Like, you're feeling individual ticks that drop. And I don't, obviously this is something where it must be really, really hard for them to fix. Otherwise, they would have fixed it, right? Obviously, it must be insanely hard to fix. They don't know how to fix it probably. Otherwise, it would be fixed. But for now, like, especially if you're lava fishing, if you're in the Crimson Isle, you're probably gonna lag a little bit. During mining fiestas, you're probably gonna lag a bit. You could probably find lag if you stay on any island long enough, but it's definitely, it feels worse on mining islands, and on the Crimson Isle, it just happens like very frequently from my experience. But I do wish they fixed the lag. It's not like a ping issue. Like even if you have low ping, you're still experiencing the lag because the servers just lag sometimes. Well, no matter what your ping is. I don't know, I just can't think of another game where the servers are regularly dropping to like 70% of their max speed. Like if you're playing, I don't know, I don't really play other games than Minecraft, but like if you're playing Rainbow Six Siege and the servers drop to 20 ticks per second or something. I don't know, I don't really know the tick rate of Rainbow Six servers, but like most games, you don't really get server lag the same way you do in Hypixel SkyBlock. So obviously, I understand that's probably not something they could easily fix, which is why they haven't fixed it. But just from a player experience, it feels like crap. It feels like crap constantly lagging. Like guys, if I had $1 for every time I lagged in SkyBlock, I could probably buy Microsoft. So I don't know. I hope it gets better. I was kind of hoping that it would get better whenever they did the foraging update and whatever, but it didn't. All right, servers are still just as laggy, if not worse. But hey, who knows? Look forward to the future. Maybe they're gonna fix it. So now I'm gonna talk about what I like. If you ask me what I like about SkyBlock, the answer probably would change every day, and especially over time the answer would change. Going back to early SkyBlock, I just liked minions. I liked that those guys produce money for me while I'm not playing, though I didn't have to play a lot, and I was still one of the richer people on the server. I mean, obviously the novelty of minions kind of wore off after a bit, and I've found different things to like after that. I mean, for me, I liked the potato war after. I liked that happened. That was obviously pretty good. And I mean, I've always, for the most part, spent a lot of time playing SkyBlock, right? Even on my old profile that the potato war happened on, I was full level 9 in all slayers. I want to say in like February of 2020, so like a long time ago. And then eventually I started my Iron Man, and I mean, that's the profile I'm on now, right? So I don't know, it's a hard thing to talk about what I like about the game, because at the moment I have not been enjoying SkyBlock that much, which is why I've been taking a little bit of a break. But broadly speaking, I like really rare drops. I like being able to achieve my goals. I like setting achievements for myself. I like rare drops. I think that's kind of what brought me to Die Hunt, because at least when I started hunting dies, like there weren't a lot of other people doing it. There's more people who do it now, but like even though dies are useless, I still think they're like an interesting thing to hunt for, which is why I do it. And I think it brings me a feeling of accomplishment whenever I drop another one. I don't know if half of that ties into me having something that other people don't, just because I'm kind of like that, but I'm sure that plays a role in it. But I don't know, there's a lot of, like, I like the progression in the game. I like the feeling of progression. I guess the main progressions that I like farming, the farming progression, and I like mining. Honestly, like, sometimes people look at games on Roblox like Steel Brain Rot, and they're like, bro, like, how does anyone like play that? Like, they're just sitting there watching their number go up. Like, that's only a few steps removed from like being Hypixel SkyBlock, like where like at the end of the day I'm kind of just playing this, and a lot of people just play it because they like watching their number go up. If anyone's played Roblox, there's a lot of games called like incremental games where you're basically want your number to go up, and you're just stacking different like additive and multiplicative multipliers until your number is just going up a lot. And like I was thinking about it the other day, and that's not too far away from also, okay, I just realized I've been mining in glossy mineral for the last like hour, so that's great. Let me remember what I was saying. You could look at the Roblox games, and something where you're just watching your number go up like an incremental game that's not too far removed from like mining, where you're getting this piece of gear, so you get this much more fortune, and then you make this much more money, and whatever. Obviously, that's a very reductive way to put anything. You could kind of say the same thing about anything, but like the point is, like, people get different kicks out of their games, and Hypixel SkyBlock, people like watching their number go up. Because the reality is, a lot of time you spend playing SkyBlock, you probably wouldn't describe it as fun, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You could find it, like, I guess fulfilling or satisfying is probably a good word. You find it satisfying, but because like a lot of games aren't exactly fun in every moment that you're playing. Like if you've played any competitive game, losing isn't fun. Like you don't enjoy losing, and some of you probably rage when you lose like a Valorant game, or for example, but you're still queuing in for the next game because you enjoy it. You're enjoying something about it, and obviously there's something we enjoy about Hypixel SkyBlock that keeps us coming back. So I hope they keep adding things to do that, because I mean, looking at the numbers, raw numbers, guys, we're getting player count mogged by Donut SMP by a long shot. So obviously people are leaving. I do understand Donut SMP is cross-platform and Bedrock players can connect to it, which means you could connect to it from any device. But the point still stands. We're getting player count mogged, all right? Like Hypixel SkyBlock, we gotta bring it back. Like where'd we go wrong? I don't know. I'm not a game dev. I couldn't tell you exactly, but I'm sure part of it is some of the reasons I've talked about in this video. But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna log on tomorrow. Like even when I said I was like taking a break from SkyBlock, I'm still logging on to check my greenhouse and make progression like that. Just log on and jump around for a little bit every day. So obviously people keep coming back, but not everyone. Sometimes people say enough is enough. I don't have the time for this anymore, or I don't find this fun or enjoyable anymore, and they never log in again, which if that happens, I guess so be it. I mean, realistically, like this isn't a game everyone can enjoy. I think if you want to play SkyBlock, you already have some sort of personality type that just brings you into it because you like grindy games. But someone who plays Valorant isn't necessarily gonna like SkyBlock if they don't like grindy games. I guess for me, the biggest reason why I play SkyBlock is because I like making SkyBlock videos. People always say like, oh, if you don't like it, don't play it or whatever. Okay, first off, saying if you don't like it, don't play it, I think that's like a Mickey Mouse like thing to say, because you're allowed to criticize things you like. Like the idea is you're hoping these things get better one day, right? You're hoping that your criticism results in an improvement eventually. I mean, obviously that only goes so far, but like broadly speaking, I'm criticizing it because I care. I care about Hypixel SkyBlock. I want it to be the best version of itself, and I want everyone to play it. I mean, I'm financially incentivized to want people to play the game if the other reasons aren't enough. The more people who use my creator code, the more money I make, and the more people who play SkyBlock actively at any time, probably the more people are gonna watch my videos and the more people are gonna use my creator code. So I mean, I'm literally financially incentivized for the game to do well. I want the best for SkyBlock. Oh, I think I got distracted when I was like talking before, but yeah, a big part of reason why I play Hypixel SkyBlock is because I like making videos about it. People say sometimes like, oh, like why don't you just go play something else? Make an SMP video, which I'm not completely opposed to making an SMP video one day or something, but I like making SkyBlock videos, and I think I do a good job at making SkyBlock videos. Obviously, like, of course, everyone's gonna say that if they make SkyBlock videos, but I like my own SkyBlock videos that I make, which is why I don't make a lot of them, right? I mean, I find it pretty hard to come up with video ideas, and the video ideas I do come up with take an insane amount of time to execute, like an insane amount of time. So the reason why I'm still playing Hypixel SkyBlock is because I like making Hypixel SkyBlock videos. That's kind of my main answer. I think being able to document the whole process of like 1,000 or 2,000 hour long grind or even longer, and being able to tell it in a story is really cool, because it's something that a lot of people will never be able to personally achieve. Just because not everyone could play as much as me, since this is my job. I mean, there's a lot of people who play more than me. I actually don't have that much playtime. Relatively, right? I have about 4,300 on this profile. I want to say in my profile the Potato War was on. I probably have like 3,700 or something. So combined, I'm at like 8,000 hours, and then maybe give like an extra 500 hours across my like pig profile and any alts I have. So I'm under 10,000 hours. I'm at about 1 year of playtime across all of my profiles and accounts. I could play a good amount, but I don't play an insane amount. Like, that seems like an insane amount to some people, sure, 1 year of playtime, but I've been playing SkyBlock for the last 6 or 7 years. So, I mean, that's like, what's the math on that? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do math. Is that like 4 hours a day or something on average? Something like that? So... I don't even know, and especially on my old profile, a lot of that is AFK, but yeah, overall, I just like the idea of being able to capture these, like, big achievements in a video for people to watch, because I just think it's cool. That's what it's boiled down to. I think videos like that are cool, and that's why I make them. So that's probably all I have to say in this video. I could genuinely talk for hours and hours about this, and I literally do on my stream. If you've ever come to my stream, like, I was probably crying about how I hate SkyBlock for 8 hours a day. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep logging in, whether it be for 30 minutes or 8 hours straight. I'm going to keep logging in. I want to hear that die drop sound, the magic find sound. I want to see 1 billion coins hit my purse. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching all the way through the video. Make sure you use code SQUID to save yourself 5% off when you're buying the Spinosaurus fire sale tomorrow. I appreciate it, genuinely best way to support the channel. I know I say it a lot, but it really is the best way to support the channel. So I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. If you enjoy these type of videos, the like ranty type of videos, let me know, because guys, I just have it in my blood. I'm a complainer. I chronically complain about everything. I can't help it. Genuinely, I don't know what it is. I think I have complainer disease because I just can't help it. I have to complain about everything. I have to. I think if I didn't complain, I would just die. Like, I just have to complain about everything. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more complaining videos in the future, and have a nice day.